Well, good evening from sunny Vegas. This is our departure video. We're leaving and we're sad.
We've had a good time.
Yep.
It's time to get home for a couple weeks, and then who knows where we'll go next.
A couple weeks, but a
We
little
don't
bit
know.
longer than a couple weeks, but we'll see.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. You never know.
So,
Speaking of out and about, we were out and about today.
we were out about today, and we saw a car being driven by a sheep in a swimming suit. Can you believe that?
And I actually knew what kind of car it was besides white. It was a Lamborghini.
Okay. So we're going to do a quick question and answer, just some of the things that we've learned, some of the things that we've had fun doing, and I'm going to start off and just say, if back in February when we were packing, what did you bring that we could have left home?
I've thought about this one a lot. There are definitely some things, specifically some kitchen things that I brought along, maybe a couple clothes, just a couple, that that I haven't used. But if we were going long term, it's probable that I would have used it. And we still have plenty of indoor cupboard space, so it wasn't like, oh wow, I need to leave this home next time we go out. So how about you?
So, like you said, I mean, we packed really skinny. We really watched a lot of videos and stuff of what we would need. And if I had to choose an item to leave home, I probably would have left my DeWalt blower home because I haven't used it. But I know that there's going to come a point in time when we do want to use it. So that's the only thing I could come up with that I packed. That, I mean, I brought tools along that I haven't used, but you don't know what tool you need.
You brought that along for a purpose. He brought that along to blow off the slides so that when we leave that there's not debris and whatnot, but there's really not enough trees around here to have to worry about that. But otherwise, in a normal campground, what would you bring with you? Something that you didn't bring that you would have brought.
So our motto is, there's a Walmart close by.
And there's like 4 of them.
Yeah, there's some very close. So the one thing I would have brought that we didn't get along was beach towels. We had 6 towels because we knew there were going to be 5 of us here. And the first time we went to the pool and we used all the towels, and we had to go figure out a place to go. Well, we had to go dry them again. And so that's one thing I would have brought. But you know what? Zed was here and he got us towels at Walmart. So we're good to go. So
I tried to tell Zed and Riley that they weren't allowed to go to Walmart while they were here, and
didn't make it very long.
Didn't go very long.
So the one thing, sorry to interrupt.
Oh.
So that was kind of a funny because we didn't get that along, but we always thought we were here 4 weeks, so I don't need a haircut after 4 weeks. But being that we've been here, or we took 10 days to get here, and we're going to take several days to get home, it's been 6 weeks. I wish we would have had the haircutting kit. I would have had a haircut.
Yeah.
But it'll grow back and it will keep growing.
Yep, and that's on my list too. I would have brought a robe for, we go down to the hot tub every night that it's open. It was broke for a few days. And it would be nice to have a robe too. I mean, you know, it's 10 o'clock at night, so nobody's gonna see me. So that, and also a tray. We're kind of divided on that. We haven't eaten outside a lot, but we have a few times that my big tray from home would be nice to carry things. So
It takes lots of trips.
yep.
So after living in the RV now 5 weeks, I think we both agree this is definitely doable for the two of us. We've enjoyed it. What would you like to change in the RV? I know your answer.
Should we say it on the count of 3? The front steps. We have measured and all sorts of stuff. The front steps have been difficult for me, and we've measured, and at least now we know numerically, mathematically wise anyway, that there's a reason for that. So we're looking into it and hope to get that taken care of.
What was the one I would have said you were going to say?
The flooring. We have the tile in the kitchen. Some of them are broken, and so we've talked about putting in all new vinyl plank flooring and taking out the carpet, and now we see that there might be some decent flooring under the carpet, so then we wouldn't replace the tile, but we would still fix it and replace it with more tile, but not I don't know. It's still.
That's what I would have guessed you would have said.
It's up in the air. I mean, the steps are more. That would probably be my number one.
And we did see through all the research that the steps that came with this model RV is different than the steps that are on this model, so that's why. So at least we know that. We know exactly which model we need, so now we just need to wait to find one of those and then get it installed, and it should be plug and play, and then it will at least be correct. So the one thing that I would change in the RV is we didn't know this buying it. We've asked hundreds of questions, didn't feel like asking this question because whatever it is, it was good. But I wish one of the two couches, one of the two sofas was a sleeper sofa. We ended up using an air mattress, which worked fine, which worked great. The twins ended up sleeping on the floor, so that worked fine.
For our kids and the babies, it's perfectly fine. But to have any siblings or parents come stay with us, parents would probably rank the bed, which would put us somewhere here. Siblings, sorry, you get their mattress, but yeah, that's again like the
in
steps
time
we're
we
looking.
can get that changed too.
Taken care of. Yep. What's your best feature? What do you like best about the RV?
So I think overall we love the RV. We really do. The thing that was really big and different to me doing an RV versus a camper is setup and tear down is so simple. I mean, you pull into a site, you turn the motor off to put the slides out, then you turn the motor back on, but you hit a button and it levels and you're done. I mean, you plug in the power and you're good to go. And
That's it.
leaving is just as easy. You put the slides in and push a button and you go. It's just so easy. Compared to a camper, would take 15 to 20 minutes to really set it up and to level it and everything else. So it's just very convenient.
It is very convenient. I had a few answers for this one. We like that our toilet is separate from the shower room, so it's just off on its own. I like that. We have a big fridge. It came with a really nice size fridge, and that's a really nice upgrade. One of the things that I enjoy. And it's a good thing Brad's sitting down for this one. But one of the things that I actually like about the RV, and I wouldn't have said this 8 weeks ago, is the sink in the bathroom, sink in the bedroom. And I did not ever want that in. That's just so stupid. Why do you want a sink in your bedroom? And it is still stupid. I don't get the reasoning behind it, but it has been very nice. That's
good.
My sink, and it's just been nice.
Yeah.
Yep. And the best upgrade to the RV, I would say the fridge, in my opinion. We didn't do that. They did it. It's so big that if Brad ever doesn't want me to have something, all he has to do is put it on the top shelf because I can't reach it. And that's not a joke. He
and
puts
I
his
call
soda
that
up there.
marriage security. She has to stay married to me so I can get the stuff off the top shelf. Can't kill me off yet. You got a high shelf.
Yeah. How about you? What's your best?
So I took that as what upgrade have we done to it, and simple, but for the first week that we had it, we had a leaky kitchen faucet. I don't know if it wasn't drained quite properly, or who knows, it could have been leaking for the last people too, but there's just a drip, and not out of the faucet end, but out of where it connects. It's like a sprayer head. So we ordered one faucet on Amazon, it didn't fit. We ordered a second one on Amazon, didn't fit. We ordered a third one, the correct one, the more expensive one.
Expensive one.
And it didn't fit. So we ordered the hose to attach to the first one, and then we got it working and everything, but we figured out that whoever put this sprayer head on must have changed the hose kit, and it was very specific to that sprayer head, and we didn't know the name brand. So we got that fixed, and it's not dripping anymore. So that's, I just didn't want damage in the under cabinets and stuff, so it's better when things work. What is the upgrade you're looking forward to the most?
I think that goes back to what we would change: the steps and the flooring and the doorbell. For whatever reason, and we've never not investigated because it's in the grand scheme of things, and we don't want people visiting us anyway. But well, not people aren't here, but anyway, our doorbell doesn't work, and that would just be fun instead of having to go ding dong. But
So what upgrade am I looking forward to? So the one thing I'd like to get done when we get home is, we got this, a couple weeks before we left, and we had a lot to figure out and learn and everything. I would like to get a complete maintenance done on the engine and the transmission and just everything, just so you can mark a date down on it, put a sticker in the windshield to say everything was done now at this point, this date, so that we don't have to worry about maintenance for 15,000 miles. Now we don't know when it was done last, and I've got a good idea, but it'd just be nice to have the complete maintenance done.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm really anxious is an upgrade, because that's not really an upgrade, but it's a maintenance item, is the bedroom TV. There's a big space behind it because it used to be an old tube TV. So I would like to be able to put my printer back there and have it plugged in, and then be able to hinge out and open up that cabinet to get to the printer. We haven't used the printer the entire time we've been here, but there have been a couple times we've wanted to use the printer, but I didn't want to go to the headache of plugging it in and getting hooked to the network. But once we'd have that TV access, so what I want to do is hinge that TV so it gets out of the way and I can put my printer in there.
Yeah, it's a big empty space, and they basically put a very unfinished piece of wood that I want to stain over the hole, and then mounted the TV to that. So if we can hinge that piece of wood, then Bob's your uncle.
So then we went to the kids and said, hey kids, do you have any questions for us for the Q&A? And we had a couple of them respond, and they had some questions. One of them was, would it be too lonely on the road without an extra companion like Blaze?
The immediate answer is no, of course. Okay, so my answer, you know that I'm not a dog person, but Blaze is the only dog that I would do this with. Blaze is a good boy, and he's the only one that I would do it with. But Brad has a good answer for this one.
Well, I agree. I would not be too lonely. I mean, it wouldn't.
He's got me.
Yeah, it would not be too lonely without him. The one thing that it has done is it's gotten us out 5 or 6 times a day to walk and exercise. And the place where the dogs go to the bathroom is very close to us, but it's gotten us out to exercise at least a couple of times. I mean, we could both be pretty good hermits if if we didn't have to go out, except she goes to the pool and goes to swim, and so, which is nice. And so it's gotten us some exercise, but
if he were to not be here or go live with the girls or anything, we would not
get another.
Replace him. No, we're good. I don't know what the next question is. Repetitious.
Yep, does being in a different environment help life not be so repetitious? I'll go and answer that one first. Vegas has just been great for things to do and to see. We've always heard that living in a small town, but even living in Sioux City, that there's just really nothing to do. I mean, and I disagree with that in Sioux City. There's so much to do. But here it's just 1,000-fold. I mean, there is always something going on, and not that we need to do something all the time, but it's a fun environment. We've really enjoyed it. We've enjoyed getting to know the streets, and it's fairly easy to drive around. It's just it does definitely help with the repetition though, because Sioux City, you've got 50 restaurants, and here there's probably 5,000. I mean, it's been fun trying new places.
I agree. Yes, it did help life not be so repetitious. It really just kind of felt like, I don't know, just like a new start, a new beginning down here, because it was all new to us. And I think I said this in one of my other videos, or maybe we just talked to the kids about it, but going from the 6,000 square foot house that you are in all day, I mean, because
especially in the winter.
Yeah, especially in the winter, we don't
doctor's
get
appointments.
out much. Yeah, doctor's appointments. We're both sick, but so it's been so different. And I guess that's one of the questions coming up about downsizing, but it just made things new again, just got us out of that rut, and yeah, I think it was a good thing.
One of the girls asked if it ever gets too cramped.
Yeah. So you're all friends and family, so at our house there is the small counter in the kitchen, and between that small counter and the regular counter where the stovetop is, that is the one place that everybody and their dog has to stand in our house. And it's, the hallway. And it's just, when you go into the kitchen, that's where you stand. And then you're always in the way. Same thing here, between the bathroom and the shower and the fridge. It's just a narrow hallway, and if you love each other really much and suck it in, you can do this. Otherwise, you just wait. But other than that, that's the only...
I don't think it's been cramped at all. The only answer I had was on laundry day. This little hallway that she's talking about becomes littler yet because we have our drying rack there for laundry. So again, that's one day a week, and it's a couple hours a week because everything dries so quickly. So it's not a big deal whatsoever, but that's the only place or time that I felt cramped at all.
And that's one of the upgrades too that we were were super excited about. We have a wash machine, but we were winterized when we came here, and I don't think the people before us had used it. But we were doing our laundry up at the clubhouse, and 2 washes and 2 dries a week, and it's a little pricey, and it's a lot of effort to go up there and everything. So we decided to try the washing machine. It works beautifully, but we don't have a dryer, and so we got this over the door drying rack, and it's just,
which is awesome,
beautiful.
and
it
works great for
amazing
us.
And
it just makes that narrow space narrower yet.
And it's the only place that we have to put it. And it's not optional. You gotta go to the bathroom. So, was it easier or harder than you expected to downsize from house life to RV life?
I would say overall it was very easy. I mean, I honestly don't think there's anything from the house perspective in Elk Point that I missed. I mean, it was just, it's all stuff at some point in time, and we've downsized to what we need and to what we want. And if and when we sell the house, I could see us living in different places around the country.
It was much, much easier than I thought it was going to be. Scarily easier than I thought it was going to be.
That just tells you how much extra stuff we all have.
And we are major hoarders, especially when it comes to my crafting and genealogy and tools and Barbies and all that stuff. Which leads us to the next question: what do you miss most about being in the house life, house living? I'm
going to say, well, I didn't have a good answer for what I miss at the house because I don't really miss anything at the house. But being at home, in the location where we were, being close to family and being able to give those hugs and just being close to family.
My babies.
I
love my kids to death, of course, but when I got to the point where I actually got to own one of the bedrooms in our house for all of my craft stuff, it was like, so maybe what we need is like a trailer, another tow behind trailer that I can have my craft room behind us. It's been great the last few years having that, and I just love it. So that I miss having my crafting. And as a matter of fact, when I swam today, I was already thinking, okay, what kind of object can I bring along that will fit all of stuff that I would want to craft?
I've got some ideas for you.
All right.
We'll figure something out. What do you like best about our winter time down here with RV life?
It is just so much simpler. Just life just seems so simple, and again, maybe scarily so. I don't know if, like we said, we have no real things that we do back home, and I've started, we're not really at a place that I can volunteer brick and mortar because we're kind of all over the place and with the girls in Minnesota and just everywhere. But I've started on some online volunteering and going up and doing puzzles, and I've been swimming, and it seems simpler.
No.
But I know the opposite of that is the downside, and that's not being around when people need us and having that. And how are you? I
think the weather down here in March has just been beautiful. I mean, you guys have had some great weather back at home too, but just being down here, it's I can see why people do snowbirds, why they go away for the winter. So
Absolutely.
And like you said, simpler. A Monday ago, she had this whole idea, okay, I'm going to get up and clean, and I'm going to do this and this and laundry and this and this. And I worked with her, of course, and she started after 9. And she was basically done. I mean, the laundry was still going, but there's nothing left to do. And she says, it's not even 10 o'clock yet. And you look back at a 6,000 square foot house, and it's just, where do you start? What room am I going to clean today where we can clean the whole RV in an hour? So it makes it nice too that everything has a place, right now at least, that when we need something,
very good with that. Everything has
goes
its place,
back.
and everything goes back.
But when we need something, we know exactly where it is. We don't have to look around. Is it in the basement? Is it in the man cave? Is it upstairs, or did it not get put away properly the time before?
One of the trailers outside.
Yeah. So that's been good for RV life.
Yeah. So are you glad that we chose Vegas for the first time?
I would say absolutely. I've really enjoyed it here. You know, we looked at Florida first, and it was going to be rather expensive down there to rent a spot. We looked at Texas, which I want to get to Texas sometime for a winter.
We love Texas.
Galveston would be great, whatever. But I think one of the big reasons that drove us to Vegas this year was we wanted to fly all the kids down for Christmas. And ticket prices from Sioux City, Sioux Falls are inexpensive. And Rochester, but they're very inexpensive. So it worked out well that we were here, that we could fly the kids down, and I would love to have them down to see us where we are again.
Yeah, I agree. There's just so much, you know, Brad said there's so much, there's always something going on, and we have spent very little money. I don't think we have actually spent any money for an activity. Now, we've gone out to eat, but not super a lot. We did go see a $5 movie. We rented the Slingshot, but we haven't gone to shows. You know, there's just so much to do that is extremely cheap or free, and we haven't even done everything. There were a couple things that we didn't get to, which
we will sometime.
We will sometime. But yeah, if the next question that I think buyer Heaven asked was if the answer to that was no, where would we choose next time? And again, Brad said Texas, maybe Arizona. I think we both agree anywhere that we can get cheap flights, cheap tickets for the kids, family to come down and see us. We want to make it easy to do that. So
perfect. Yeah.
Okay, I have one more question I'm going to throw at you.
Okay.
What was your favorite food of the whole trip that we ate out? And your least favorite? Favorite and least favorite?
I don't know about least favorite. I think we'll have to see if we both agree on this, but Pizza Rock was my favorite. I mean, that pizza was amazing. It was deep dish. It rocked. Yeah, that was probably my favorite. Least favorite? We drove past a Burger King today and said, you know what, we haven't been at Burger King in 5 weeks.
No.
And that's awesome when you have so many new places to try. I think we've been back to a couple places twice, but it's just there's so many places to try that we don't have at home that it's fun just to try something new.
Yeah, we did go to McDonald's once, I think, and twice.
I needed my breakfast burritos.
He needed his breakfast burritos. Those are not, you can't have those anywhere else. And then we got a Shamrock Shake for the girls on the way to the airport. But
what was your favorite meal?
I would say my least favorite, I do have a least favorite, and that would be JJ's. We did end up getting JJ's 3 times. It's a pizza place right up the road here. The first time was when we first got here. That night we ordered pizza, and that was my favorite of the JJ's times. It was really good, and then we got it once with the girls and once with Zed, and I said,
we won't do JJ's
this will be
again.
the end. It was JJ's. My favorite, although I do agree with Brad, very, very much so, Pizza Rock was amazing. That's where we went with Audrey and Matt. It was incredible. I'm going to go with the fish at New York, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fish and chips. That was awesome.
It was awesome. It was probably the best fish. It was the best fish and chips I've ever
Place
had.
to go back to.
Yep.
When you come down to visit sometime, we'll take you there.
Yep. So it is Tuesday, and we have a concert Thursday night we're super excited about. We're going to see Hillsong and Chris Tomlin at
T-Mobile Arena behind New York, New York. And then Friday morning, we're getting up bright and early and heading out
hopefully to make it between Gallup and Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I think we're going home a different way, aren't we?
That's the way we're leaning. We're really watching the temperatures just to see what it's going to be like. We're trying to stay away from the cold. That was our worst part about coming down, was the week of cold to get here and not knowing all the systems, not knowing how things worked. So if we have to decide by Albuquerque, and we either keep going straight to Oklahoma City and then up to Elk Point, or we turn north at Albuquerque and go through Colorado Springs. I could see an old college friend if we do that. So that's kind of the way we're leaning, to go through Colorado Springs, but we'll keep watching the temperature all the way up until Saturday and Sunday, and probably even past that. So
Yep. We will see. So
thanks for joining us on our trip, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah, we'll see you guys all on Easter. Love you.
Love you.